up, y'all? What's up? What's up? We are back with another episode of The Buzz Behind the Music. I am your host, Sherwin. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Feel free to share this as you're getting in here. Go ahead and share this. We're gonna jump into this right away. Yo, what's happening? We're gonna jump into this. I have a few quick announcements. Shout out to everyone. Let me share this with a few people myself. Hey, Tamika, what's going on? Make sure you stick around tonight. Let me go ahead and share this with a few people. And shout out to everyone that is here with us tonight and not at the Beyonce concert. You know, you guys are the real MVP, all right? Don't worry what anyone say. You are the real MVP. You are here with us. Even if you were at the concert and you had listening only seats. I saw that somewhere. Someone was talking about listening only seats. I thought that was crazy. Now I'm gonna pay to go to a concert just for listening only seats. That's wild. But yeah, shout out to everyone here. Go ahead and share this with someone. Dominique, Uniquely Created. What's up? What's up? Arston, Entertainment. Exactly, negative. Like, forget about that. Y'all, tonight we're gonna be talking. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Tonight we're gonna be talking with Kateri B. Kateri B is an amazing artist based from out in Wisconsin. So we're gonna be getting into all things Kateri tonight. Few quick announcements. Events. Anyone in the NYC area, this light is giving a glare. Let me change this. Anyone in the NYC area this Sunday? Nope, not that one. It's even brighter. I feel like a dark video with that one. All right, so anyone in the NYC area, you need to be at Soul Therapy Sunday. So you're gonna check out this Sunday. Anthony Ponder presents Soul Therapy Sunday at the legendary SOBs. So you guys want to be there. You're gonna have JJ Harris is gonna be in the building. Vincent Bohannon is going to be in the building, so definitely make sure that you are there. 54th annual GMA Dove Awards. They announced their nominations this week. Congratulations to all the nominees. Again, congratulations. That's going to be October 20th. So if you plan to be in Nashville October 20th, make sure you check that out. Then the 8th annual Avidity Awards in New Orleans this time. Derek Huggins and team over there. That's going to be October 13th and the 14th. And guess what? Pre-ticket, early bird tickets right now are available. Get your early bird tickets. That's going to be 30% off. So make sure you do that. Make sure you check out our Spotify playlist. We're going to be updating that weekly. So you want to check out our Spotify playlist. Also check out the audio version of everything that we're doing. All of our shows, the audio version, the podcast version, if you may, is available everywhere that you get your podcasts. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. Again, lots of new music has been released. Erica Campbell is releasing her new album. She has a new single out today, Show Being Good. Travis Green, Just Cordell released his album. That's a really great artist as well. Check him out. It's called Just in Time. And yeah, again, actually before I go ahead and bring in Kateri, I want to take a quick minute just to say, change this real quick. I want to take a quick minute just to say thank you to all of our supporters. Everyone that has been subscribing on our YouTube channel. Again, we hit another record subscription last month for our YouTube channel. But also those of you that have been subscribing on Instagram subscription. Those of you that have been using the link in our bio to give, we completely saw you this month. We appreciate you. You guys came through 100%. So we definitely want to make sure we say thank you for that. All right. That is it for announcement. Anything else? Make sure you check our page. And let me see, Terry, if you're here, I'm going to go ahead and bring you in. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
What's What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the buzz behind the music. We're gonna be so excited to be with you here tonight. You know, time is yet 7:30, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. How are you doing? How was your week so far?
Everything's been busy. I actually literally had to come off the road, get in the shower, get dressed for this interview. So I had to run out to the lobby area. So if it's loud, y'all know I couldn't miss it. So hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. It's work, you know. But I'm out here with my headphones on, so if y'all hear something, just know I am literally on the move because it was a lot of construction going on, so it's pretty loud. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and can't wait to answer all these questions. I know it's gonna be a lot.
All these exciting questions.
For sure.
Well, listen, I know you were in the mood, so you know I appreciate you. We can even get into a little bit of your schedule as well too. But I know you got some stuff coming out
Absolutely.
in Atlanta and Cincinnati and all over the place. You can tell us all the things. Well, before we even jump into all of that, like this, you know, from my audience, is I think give people a little bit of, you know, who is Kateri B? Just like, you know, let us know who is Kateri. You know, what can they expect from you? You know, you're dropping this new single that is out right now, Lover of My Soul, that we're going to get into. But kind of aside from the music itself, like who is
That's great that you asked that. I feel like a lot of times every year, the summary of who I am always changes. Um, but they said they can't hear you well, Sherwin.
Hey, what about now? Can you guys hear me
Yeah,
now?
you're good now.
Okay.
But I feel like it changes a lot. I think that for me, I am always consistent. You know, I'm the type of person that I've been singing since I was two. I've never really knew anything outside of basketball and singing because I started off in basketball first. I really wanted to be a hooper,
Oh,
but
nice.
that dream didn't come to pass. So I had to, you know, go the other route. But I'm so happy that I did because singing is literally my family's legacy. My father and all of his brothers, they're all singers. My father's a pastor, so I'm a
Oh,
PK
wow.
kid. So I kind of
Mm.
have all of, you know, what they call it. I should know how to do these things because when you
Mhm.
grew up in church, you should know at least something. But I'm very straightforward. I understand my calling, my gifts, my abilities. But just to kind of summarize it all in a nutshell is that I'm literally just living to be used by God. Like that's literally why I'm on this earth. Um, I wouldn't really want to be here to do anything outside of that because I feel like when you're
Mhm.
in purpose, life just feels so much better. And so that's really who I am. I'm a purpose driven person who just wants to please God, be there for, you know, his people and be consistent in who I am and what I do. So that's me.
I like I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty spot on, pretty solid. Did not know that you were a hooper as well too. So definitely
All day, every
all
day.
day.
I can take
So
anybody to the
listen,
court.
next year the Stella celebrity basketball game, you got to be in there.
Yeah,
You you got
tell John to
you
hit me up.
you
Hey,
you you got to be in there, but make sure Lamont make it happen. You got to be in there and taking them down the court. So
yeah,
shout out to you with that.
yeah. They don't want
And
none.
they don't want none of
They don't want none.
it. They don't want that. I like that. And in kind of going through your stuff, of course, I'm sure you're probably tired of speaking about, the four, season 2 of the four, but I had to go back and I had to look at it because, I saw it. I went ahead, I searched the video, saw the video. And while you were there, just kind of speaking about just confidence, like, I mean, you're standing in front of, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, whichever name, Love, whichever name he was going by at that time. But you're in front of him, DJ Khaled, everyone, and you were just confident enough to, again, know what you're doing, know who you are, and just kind of stand there in that moment and just show up and not really shy away from it. You mind touching a little bit on that? Like, what was that moment like? And just standing there in front of everyone. Typically, someone may be in fan mode. You may be
all in your head, but you just showed up and you handled business?
Oh man, I feel like it's always so funny to talk about the story. It's been 5 years from now. I think what I felt in that moment was I had to do it for the kingdom. This was a kingdom
Mm-hmm.
move. This was you know, this was God literally using me to be a representation of the power that rests upon the people that are in the gospel industry.
Yeah.
Um, and I just feel like that was a moment for them to have that encounter with God. So that way that nobody can ever say that I never heard, I never had an opportunity um, to get to know God and really
Mm-hmm.
want to form that relationship with Him. And so I feel like it was so much bigger than me. I literally was used from the time I stepped on LA soil. Um,
Wow.
I was literally treated like royalty. It was crazy
Mm.
because I was telling somebody the other day, um, I was talking to the fixed radio and they were asking me my experience as well. And I was telling them, I was like, man, it's crazy how I was never treated foul. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you have, places or you have, interactions with people and they hype you up, they want, it's a competition show, so they're
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah.
they're gonna put that fire in you. They're gonna make you be more competitive. But for me, I had to look at it from a different perspective because I was singing gospel music. I wasn't there
Yeah.
just for me, I was there for something else. So I had to kind of have a different view of what my purpose was outside of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
because they were there for their career. I was there on
Yeah.
an assignment. That's two different things.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So I had to be more consecrated. I had to be more focused. I had to be more purpose driven. I had to be more um, kind of set apart to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I was prepared for what was getting ready to happen. So there are things that I wouldn't say. There were a lot of things that I wouldn't do. There's music I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't listen to. So I had to really consecrate myself mentally, emotionally, to get ready for that moment. And when I stepped out on stage, I knew that it was go time because this wasn't for Kateri. This was for those millions of people who was looking for God and wanted those answers. So it was a faith move. Before was nothing but faith. It was responsibility in the secular arena, knowing how to take care of God's business and not compromise. Um, it was
Like that.
a lot of things that was going on to summarize it. But it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it was a great experience. I feel like if I got the call again, I would go back.
Wow. Man. You you touched on a lot of key points. You talked about consecration. You
Hmm.
talked about knowing that you are on assignment, and it's so refreshing to speaking to someone young such as yourself, a young adult, but understanding that it's not just about talent. You're uber talented, and no one would ever debate that. But at the same time, you're talking a lot about the spiritual aspect behind that.
Hmm.
And I feel as though, sometimes there's a lot that is put on talent, not as much that is just put or highlighted or underscored on the sacrificial side. The spiritual side of things is really great just to hear you bring that to the front as well too. And I know from, even from the journey of the four, you've since went on and you've toured with, Kirk, which again, Kirk, so being singing with Kirk, singing with Jonathan, singing with everyone that is just considered the top of their game within our industry. And just doing that, how would you say being around that, being out there with them have kind of like mold your musical styling as you're developing as an artist?
Um, I would say I met Kirk um through Instagram. I
Mm-hmm.
never toured with Kirk, but Kirk was a
Okay.
part of Jonathan's tour.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
we, we
Johnson's story. Yeah.
yeah, we stopped in Houston, but just the experience. Fred Hammond was there too. I was able to
Mm-hmm.
meet him as well and kind of get to kind of see and feel his presence. But it was an experience. I feel like it stretched me to understand artistry. It stretched me to understand that it's okay to be a performer. A lot of times we shy away from that in the gospel because it's like this isn't a performance. We're not performing. Um, but
Yeah.
But it is in some type of
Mhm.
way you are performing because when you're performing, you're making people believe what you're doing.
Mhm.
Um, and so for me, it allowed me to see a different side of what goes into touring, what goes into people being
Yeah.
consistent on and off the road. Um,
Mhm.
and it was a great experience. I was able to meet so many people. A lot of people knew me again from the forest. So I had fans
Yeah.
that were showing up because they knew I was on the tour. But the experience in working with them and being around that type of environment was very professional. From my experience, I speak for
Yeah.
myself. You know, I was never treated bad or funny or weird. You know, Jonathan's my brother,
Mhm.
and he's incredible. He's a sweet, kind man. He never changed with me. He's always been consistent. So I feel like that was a whole another experience because a lot of times you hear so many stories how people just don't treat people right in the gospel industry and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and all this stuff. You know, we build so
Mhm.
many narratives, but you'll never know until you experience it yourself, to have your own takeaway and understanding of what that is. So I would say like it was just incredible to me. Um,
Nice.
Again, it stretched me to understand artistry. You need to know how to be an artist. It's not just being able to sing. You got to know character. You got to know how to, talk to people. You can't be rude. You got to do things you really don't want to do.
Mhm.
And it's just a part of the business. You know, you got to be responsive. You have to be alert. You have to be understanding. Um, so it was a lot. It was a lot
That's dope.
that I've
That's
learned.
dope.
So that's my takeaway of that
No,
portion.
and that's good too because I know we caught Jonathan when he was on tour when he came through New York. I've seen him a few times on tour, and yeah, 100%. I agree with you saying. Just the
Mm-hmm.
experience, just from an overall, artistry perspective, always leveling up on the artistry side. And you're right. I mean, someone's gonna pay money to show up to see a concert. A lot of
Yep.
times, it's not only Christians are showing up, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have believers, and then you're gonna have other individuals that are showing up and they want to see a show. So you
Absolutely.
also got to know how to be a performer. You got to know how to go up there and do your thing as well too, and not just be on the super spiritual side of things, but also kind of mixing the blend in between. We say, also maturity, Kateri, you're amazing. See a few bunch of people coming in, saying hi, saying what's up. Shout
Hi,
out to
Alex.
see we got here. Shout out to our Australia folks, seeing the good mornings. That's Kevin from out in
Hey.
Australia. What's up? Yeah, and I think that's pretty, cool in it of itself. And then the next thing I noticed as I started to just research and just get to, as much as I can learn about you as an artist and a person, I noticed the Sunday Blessing series. I believe that's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Sunday Blessing series. And with that, it's just from a viewership perspective, it's gotten, millions of views across between TikTok, Instagram, all of that. But just that uniqueness of that, just tell us what was the inspiration behind just coming up with that, with the Sunday series?
That was the boss man himself. That was Alex. My manager, he just see, get you a manager that understands the assignment.
Oh,
Um
come on, y'all.
get
Come on,
get
y'all.
get you a manager that understands the gift that you have. It is a lot of people that have managers that just manage the personality of the
Mm,
person. But there are not a lot of managers who manage the spirit of the artist.
mm,
Um, you gotta know that was a word. So somebody catch that on the
mm,
live and make sure that
mm.
you get that.
Manage spirit.
Make sure you get that. Managers all over the world understand. You gotta know who you're managing. Um,
Mm,
it's not just the personality, but you gotta manage the spirit of the person. And he's very mature spiritually, so he was able to pick up on um what I needed to do in this season. And he said, we're gonna call it Sunday Blessings. I said, okay, cool. I
mm,
trusted him on that, and I ran with it. He didn't have to pump and prime me. He
mm.
didn't have to pull me to do anything. I was 100% ready to go, and that's what happened. So Sunday Blessings birth came from Alex. He he birthed that. I think I did. I posted it randomly, and he caught on to it. He said, "Well, let's
Mm,
call it like Sunday Blessings." So this
Nice.
all came from Alex. Like he named it. He created the concept of it. And that's Sunday Blessings now. And it's been
Wow.
blessing so many people. People have been losing loved ones left and right. It's been like they'll open up their phone, the first thing they see is me, and it's just been a blessing to
Wow.
hear see the reviews of what people are saying and how
Mm-hmm.
it has made them feel. So Sunday Blessings is some serious for real.
Wow. Yeah, and I've seen, just there's a lot of industry artists, industry professionals in and out of gospel. It's just been commenting on it. They've been just talking about it. There's just been a whole lot that's been going on around that. And for me, looking at that, I think there's a few things you touched on just now, but there's also the obedience aspect as well too, right? Because just, being obedient to, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go forward, I'm going to make this happen. And then the reward just came in, because I'm sure going into it, you're not thinking, a lot of times there's a lot of focus on how can I get these views? How can I get this? How can I get that? But you just went with something because there's a need there. And then everything else kind of just came behind it. From an impact perspective, just, seeing where it's heading now, like, what are you just thinking, like, what is the impact that you want others to take away? You started to touch a little bit on it just now, that as people are dealing with hardship and some of the testimonies that are coming in, but what are some more of those?
I think that it's geared to people understanding that sometimes you got to take a second and thank God. Sometimes you got to take a second and really just come in, like 1 second,
Yeah.
and look at how good God has been. Look at how He's kept you. Look at the things that you've been struggling with, how He's delivered you out of that. Like, Sunday Blessings is so much more than just me singing. Like, it's not just you guys clicking on and, just hearing me. It's really a ministry. Like, it's really me, just worshiping God for you guys, really giving you something to pull you up out. And it's just so amazing because God's hand is on it. And God's hand is on it is when nothing that you do, nothing that anybody else can do can break that. And I've tried to get out of doing Sunday Blessings. I have fought tooth and nail. I said, I ain't doing another video today. I don't feel like doing it today. But the Lord be like, nah, I always have the people on my mind. So I can never really turn it off. But Sunday Blessings is, I feel like it's going to be so much bigger than just what I'm doing, and just being able to pull different artists in and make this just a big, coming together. Like, we're here to bless God, not just on Sundays, but just any day. So it's going to be incredible. I look forward to the future of it. I look forward to it growing and expanding beyond just Instagram, but, maybe even a TV show, maybe even something that's, something that gospel people can grab a hold to and, really be a part of it.
Wow. I love that. But listen, you've already put it out there. So, all things, the all things will come to pass because it's being spoken. You said something just now as I'm listening to you, and you mentioned pulling people up out of it. When it comes to just ministry and music and just going before for the people. And I think on one of your interviews, or it might have been on the 4, but you mentioned you sang your mother out of depression. Just, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but I think that's what I heard. You mentioned somewhere. Okay. Can you touch a little bit on that? Because I think that's a powerful statement in it of itself, and just to kind of being that space when you're dealing with depression, when you're dealing with that, but being able to still stand on God's word in that moment.
Oh yeah. Again, like I stated before, I was always I'm a PK kid. I was born in the faith, so I knew God a long time. And so my mom, just dealing with life and just the challenges of my father and whoever she was dealing with, she went through a lot. And for me to see that as a young lady, when you kind of experience that with your mother, is different, because that's the example that you have. So the care for her is at an all-time high because that's who's raising you, that's who's
Mhm.
teaching you, that's
Mhm.
who's training you. And so when I would see her just go into this, it's crazy how I was so alert as a little kid. And I could feel spirits. I knew when my mom was, going through something, and I would just go in her room and I would just sing. Um, and I didn't even really know what I was doing because
Mhm.
I didn't have the full desire of singing until I was like 13. Um,
Wow. Okay.
but I always had the gift, but I never really used it to the
Mhm.
capacity that it was built to be until I was 13. But that was a moment for me just to be there for my mom at a very difficult time. And even to this day, I literally can sing my mama out of stuff. Um, I
Wow.
can pray her out of stuff because to me, I feel like when you proclaim that you love God, you got to believe that thing. This isn't us
Yeah.
singing just to be playing. No, you're singing because what you're singing, you're believing. I believe you to be this. I believe you to be that. And so those words and everything that I've saying to my mother has resonated and it has built, I think, even our relationship to this level of where we just have a common ground of she understands me spiritually. And she knows when I hear from God, I've heard from God, because seen, um, she's seen it come to pass. And if I can throw this in there, I remember being at an apartment at our apartment complex. There was this man who was
Mhm.
in a car. He was right next door to our house. He was literally, I thought he was dead. And I was with my friend,
Mhm.
and I literally, like, his eyes was rolled to the back of his head, and the same boldness I had on the floor, I had at, like, I think I was maybe 15.
Wow.
I prayed for that man, and that
Mm.
man came. He woke up out of that car, and he was
Wow.
alert. I will never forget that. That just came to my mind.
Wow.
Thank you, God. That when you believe, it don't matter what age you are,
Mhm.
God can use you to do a lot. So I've been doing a lot, on this journey as just being a songstress, a person that knows how to intercede, and it's just amazing how just the gift that I have can literally pull people out of stuff. Like, so
Wow.
that's just Kateri. That's just what you're getting. I don't know any more, any less of that, but that's just
Man.
me.
This is good. This is good. I know we got to get into the single. I'm having too much fun just talking about other stuff, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna come
Yes.
back into the single. But this is wow. This is beautiful. This is great. This is really really good stuff. Someone said this girl is oily. Shout out to Indigo Inspire Life,
Oh, thank
Patrice
you.
Indigo Inspire Life, Patrice. Yes, new single out right now. New
Yes.
single, Lover of My Soul,
Let's
featuring Mike
go.
Casey. Whew, I don't even know where to start with that single. I mean, just lay it out for us. Just tell us, the inspiration, just putting this together, talk also about, the collaboration. I'm sure when you're doing something, you're thinking, who am I going to do this collab with, and just everything surrounding that.
The crazy thing is, let me tell you how the story was. I actually found out the story on a live like 3 weeks ago. I had no clue.
Okay.
I had no clue how this even happened until Mike explained it, and I was like, "Wow, that's how you got on the song." I didn't even know. But it, one of my producers, his name is K Casso, super dope
Mhm.
from Virginia, and he sent me a track, and he told me to listen to it. I was on my way to the movies. I had no point of listening to no type of music on my way to the movies. So he said, "Hey, listen to it. Let me know what you think." And he texted me back. He said, "Hey, I think I want to call it Lover of My Soul." I said, "Okay, cool. That's dope." So I listened to the track, and immediately, um, I was like, "Yo, I gotta hit up my writer." So I had no clue what was going on, the conversations that he was even having
Mhm.
with Mike, but I just so happened to be a favor um, for Mike Teasy. or for K Casso. So it was an exchange between them two. So he was like, hey, you know, if I do this, then, you know, can you hop on this song that I got? And he was like, for sure. And so that's how Mike got on it. It was a favor. And it just so happened to be my record. So I was just like, wow. Like, God orchestrated that thing. He did. He orchestrated that. And I was just like, wow. So when I did my rough, Mike did his rough, and we didn't even redo it. We kept that. What you're hearing is a rough. What you're hearing is the first concept of the song. Like, there was no other way we could have even formed it. We couldn't even go back and redo it. It was already perfect. So y'all are literally hearing us coming together for the first time, first try for this record.
That's wow.
Yeah, shout out to my writer, Kateri Marie, my sister. She wrote on it. Mike wrote on it. K Casso produced on it. So this is what, you know, came out of that, and it's just incredible how a favor turned into favor. And you know, y'all catch that soon later on.
The favor turned into favor. Come on, man. I see you just sprinkling everything in there. You sprinkling a whole lot in there. No, don't worry. They'll listen back. They'll listen back.
They'll listen back to it. But, you know, you just never know how, you know, when you're ready, you know, God will do things. He'll blow your mind. So that's how Love of My Soul came to pass. And it has been doing incredible, especially on radio, and God has been blowing our minds.
Yeah, I've definitely been seeing that. I mean, I think I saw a stream, I believe it might have been the guys from over at Rapzilla, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
When they were doing a listening over there, you know, everyone in the comments is going crazy about that. I've been seeing it all over. The streams are definitely climbing and it's going there. But I just think just the collaboration between you and Mike, like, you know, kicking off, coming back together when you guys are just harmonizing, just everything. The song is just a sick song. I mean, it's really dope. It's a really great track. And then also too, you have the open verse challenge. So tell us about the open verse challenge.
So the open verse challenge is we're doing it differently. We're giving opportunities to producers to remake the track. So I think that's going to be, you know, I'm a part of the open verse challenge, but you know, y'all got to give it over to management. So AT has a whole plan about it. But it's for producers. It's for them to get a placement of being able to remix the track. And whoever has the best one, I believe we're going to re-release it. And they're going to be featured on that. So it's a lot of opportunities for them, singers, whether you are a writer, if you want to just go ahead and just drop your version, you know, you can always get posted on my page. But the open verse is for producers and people who want to remake the track and get an opportunity to get re-released as the remix version. So it's very serious, and it's an opportunity for you to go beyond just, you know, getting a video posted. You can actually get an opportunity to get it put back out. So it's really big. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And it's clearly the team behind all of this is putting a lot of thought into it, just you know, to redoing it from such a different perspective. So I'm definitely interested in seeing the ones that got selected and even the ones that didn't, because I'm sure you guys are getting so much amazing submissions right now. It's probably keeping Alex and the team busy all day long, just filtering through all of that. Dane, what's up, brother, from the Ology? You mentioned as well too, I know when the song was getting ready to be released, you stated that it spoke to your inner strength and courage. So touch a little bit more on that, just from your inner strength and courage, and just the title Lover of My Soul. Like, what does it mean to you personally?
I think it just literally outlines the love that God has for us. I feel like a lot of times we look at the limits of our own eyes, but don't understand that God has no limits. And so when you say Jesus is the lover of my soul, meaning your soul is important, your soul is valued, your soul is
Mhm.
literally the next step to eternal life. You know, when you leave this body, you leave as a spirit, and that's a soul. And so you want to make sure that you understand what who your soul belongs to, and know that God really does love you, and He loves the path that you're on. He loves you. He's concerned. He wants to know, about you. He wants to hear from you. He wants to be connected to you. And so I just believe that that song resonates with me because God really loves me enough that He's concerned about, my soul and where my well-being, and who I am, and, where my eternity is spent. He don't want me to
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
eternity in hell. So it's like he really does love the soul of the person. And we say all the time, like, people look at the outward, but God looks on the inward. He looks at the heart, and He looks at the soul of the person. And you got to really understand God to know that He really does care about you. Like, seriously, like, this is not us just saying it from the Bible. This is us saying it from experience. Like, your soul is valuable. Like,
Yeah.
when you're out of this shell, you have an eternal place. And so, like, if you don't have that connection with God, then your soul won't be with Him. So
Yeah.
I just wanted people to know that and get it in their spirit that Jesus, the lover of my soul, that's you. That you're the one that loves my soul. You're the one that cares for me. So that's really how it resonates with me and stick with me. And that's just how I feel about it. So I pray that people around the world can have an understanding of that as well, that Jesus really does care about the soul of the person.
No, that I think you summarized that truly captivating. Everyone is agreeing with you. I see facts, true, sister. God really does love and care for us.
Yes, he does.
The collab the world didn't know it needed. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely resonating with, with so many different individuals around the world. Because as I'm listening to it, and I love songs like you said before, is that your tracks when you're listening, because I went back and I listened to some of the other stuff I know you released Till I Get There. And
Yes.
one thing I can always say that while it's all biblically rooted and it's solid from a biblical perspective, but it also still have a swag in it. It still has that 808. It still has that bump.
Yes.
Like, it's just gonna keep you, and I love songs like that because I have teenagers as kids. And every time I hear a dope track, I'm always like sending it in the group chat. Hey guys, check this out. Check this out. I'm like, now maybe you can replace this with one of the other madness that you have, right? So I'm
Listen,
constantly, I'm constantly sending it through. So I think, that's really important, just to make songs that can, reach and captivate and be competitive on the level with everything. And I'd say you're competing with the world, but also still having, that level of certainty when you're releasing something. I'm not gonna hold you too long. I know we're kind of coming up on time, but I wanted to just ask a little bit in terms of, being a young Christian adult in the music industry. What advice would you give to inspiring artists? Like someone that is, there's always someone that's coming behind, there's always someone that's in front, that's farther along. But what advice would you give to that person that is now starting and just trying to figure out how they can make a positive impact in this world?
I think just understanding your purpose. A lot of times, again, we literally take this artistry and we do it based off how we feel, and that's fine. But you also got to understand that God gave you a gift as an assignment for Him. And so, being a young teenager, not teenager, but a young adult, there's so many things that we could be doing. It's so much out here in this world. And I was talking about that with my mom. I was like, Mom, I said, we have so many distractions that y'all did not have. Like, we are fighting something so much more than what our mothers and grandparents had to fight outside of slavery and stuff like that. But it's like, man, it is very hard to be consistent, but I think it's more rewarding when you try because
I love that.
it's easy to say that, well, our society is like this. I get it. I understand that. But you also have a responsibility. So you can't always throw it on the environment because your environment is going to always change. But that does not mean that your personality, how you treat people, you know, just your overall character like that, that doesn't give you a pass to be mean and rude. It just shows you that there's a lot of work that we need to do collectively as millennials, that we have to be more intentional about our artistry, about the music we put out, about the spirits that is attached to the music that we share. And we have to be bolder. We have to not be afraid to be young and live for God. Like, it's not bad. Like, this thing isn't hard. It's not as difficult as people make it seem, because when you have a real relationship, you understand. You have understanding. You know, okay, God, this is something that you feel that is best for me. I'm gonna trust you on that. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna fuss at you. I'm not gonna do none of that. You know what's best for me, so I'm cool. If you got it, and you leading this thing, I'm cool, and I'm gonna go to bed at night. I'm gonna sleep, and I'm not gonna worry because I'm too young to be to be fighting God on stuff I ain't got no business fighting him about. So I would just say for young people, just understand and know the call and know your gift, know what you're doing it for. Don't just do it because you can. Do it because you're called and you're gifted and skilled to do it. And it's where God wants you to be. Don't just be in stuff because you got connects, because you can do, and you have the physical ability. But you'll really begin to see if people are supposed to be there, if they're mature spiritually. If they're immature spiritually, they're in the wrong place.
Wow.
Because God will never put you in a place that you're not prepared for. That's a whole nother thing. I don't even want to go into that, shirt. I don't.
You know what? You took that deep breath there, and I'm just like, oh, she's about to lay on us right now. I just pulled back from the camera. I'm like, all right, go ahead, just lay on us.
Lord have mercy. I don't even want to go that route, but I just say this: know your purpose, know why you're doing it. Don't do it out of your own ambition, out of your own come up. We are really all, me and you, together. This conversation, we're workers, we're servants. You know, we're online for a purpose. We're not on here because we want to get to know each other. We on here because we're spreading the gospel. We're on here because we literally want people to understand who God really is, and that He's using us individually to come together to, uplift one another and, really take the world by force. And, that's my advice that I want to give to them.
I love that. Before I have you share your socials, I know you got some dates coming up. I want to have you get in all those dates. I have one last question for you here. One final question, and we're almost there. That question is, again, finally, beyond your musical career, what would you say are some of personal hobbies or something fun that your fans might be surprised to know about?
I love staying.
I mean, I was surprised about. Go ahead.
I love staying at home. Like, I love being in the confines of my house.
You don't like being outside? You don't want to be outside?
I don't like being outside. Somebody did it. Somebody did something. I can't remember who the comedian was, but she was like, "I'm all peopled out. I'm peopled out. I'm all peopled out. People. I love people, but I be reaching my capacity with people. But no, I like shopping. I like literally sitting in the car and literally talking. I talk to myself a lot because I literally talk to, like, I get myself in check. Like I like having those moments when I talk to me and build me up and get to understand me. A lot of times people don't know who they are. And you can tell because they really just do stuff and say, I don't know why I did that. No. You're not going to get that with me. I'm going to know why I did it. I'm going to know why I said it. I'm going to know why my intentions are that because I talk to me. I check this person, Kateri. And so I like having conversations with myself. I like watching old school TV. I like going back to the old days. And just reminiscing on how it was, it's not the same anymore. And so I like doing that, taking time to binge watch. I'm binge watching right now, The Parkers.
Nice.
So I'm binge watching that right now, but it's the old days. It made me feel like when I was in high school and, just having an experience of coming home from school and being able to turn the TV on and be on BET, not the streaming apps. So
turn that knob.
I'm an old soul at times.
I could tell that.
But I like that. I like being by myself a lot, but you will never really know that because I make sure everybody feel like they're welcome and that they are, the highlight of my day. So, but when it's my personal time and my hobbies, I like being at home. I like just detoxing and woosah, because days be long and life be lifing. And I be
Facts.
tired of life sometimes.
Facts.
So that's what I like to do.
I like that. And just because of that photo I saw when you took for the cover art, I take it a little bit that you're a little bit of a sneakerhead.
Oh,
I got that because when I saw those green, because I got those same ones. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that's a sneakerhead move with those kicks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like it.
I've been on a ones kick. Like I have been buying a lot of retro ones. I love the way that they fit on my feet.
Ones.
Shout out to the Jordan Plug. If you want to sponsor your girl, I literally
would
be okay.
I hit her up. I hit her up.
Listen, I can wear your ones everywhere I go, but I love retro ones. I love retro ones. So if you love me enough, next year when I turn 30, give me a bunch of ones. I will not be mad at you. I will love you a million times over. So yeah, I'm a sneakerhead. I wanted to play basketball, so I had a shoe fetish. I love
Makes sense.
Jordan. Yeah. So that's just it came with it. So I don't know. That's just what I do. Yeah.
Nice. And let the one says ones are my fave. Yeah, I'm with you with that. I'm John. Tell the people you're going to be at a few places, and now in Atlanta, September, you got a few different places that you're going to be at coming up. You want to run through some of that? I'm going to try to pull it up on my end, but if you remember off the top of your head as well.
Yeah. So actually, I'll be at the on August 19th through the 20th. I'll be in Cincinnati, Ohio for the Awakening Conference with David Collins. That's one. Is September 2nd. I'll be at the Holy Summit in Atlanta, Georgia, featuring one day and a whole bunch of different Christian creatives. It's going to be incredible. I'm hosting it. This is my first hosting responsibility. So it's going to be super good. So if you want to get your tickets, I believe it's holysummit.com. So HLY summit.com.
Yeah, HLYsummit.com.
Yeah.
Dope.
You can get your tickets there in Atlanta. I'll also be in Lithonia, Georgia, September 7th through the 9th. I don't know the address, but it is on my page. You go and look at it.
Check out the page, yeah.
Yes, I'll be there from the 7th through the 9th. So August 19th through the 20th in Cincinnati. September 2nd, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia for the Holy Conference, and then I'll be in Lithonia, Georgia, the 7th through the 9th. And I don't think the October date, I don't have it, but when I do get it, I'll share it as well. Yes, US Cafe, booked and busy.
Yeah. Urban Soul Cafe, the man, yes. Carlos is the G. Him. Carlos is the man. He said he's loving your single, her single. Yeah. Indigo, Patrice said 29. You're looking like 17 out here. So there you go. There you go.
Y'all better love on
Yeah.
me.
Now give the people your socials. Let them know, because you constantly add in dates, because I know from the time we've been talking, there's a bunch of other stuff that's happening in the background. So let them know where they can find you. You know, they want to catch up on the Sunday blessings. They want to just know all the things. Where can they follow you?
You can follow me everywhere at KB Global Music. I believe on TikTok it's underscore KB Global Music. But you can find me at the same handle. And literally you can go to Apple Music, Spotify. You can put in Kateri B and you'll find all my music there. And I can't wait to share more. I got some exciting more music to release this year, and that's where you can find me. You won't miss it because all my graphics are colorful. So
I
you
love
won't be
that
able to
too.
miss
That's one of
it.
the things I popped. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Love.
Yeah,
Listen,
absolutely.
man. Thank you so much for coming on, for chatting with us. Just,
You're
being you,
welcome.
being chill, just, being open to talk about everything, all the things. We got through all the questions. Nothing was left unturned. So
Listen, I didn't have no distractions out here in this hallway. Praise
exactly. Come on.
God.
Carlos said we need to connect for an Urban Soul Cafe joint. Alex,
Yes.
definitely hit up Carlos. Make that happen. But no, so, again, enjoy the rest of the weekend ahead. Can't wait to see
Thank
you live in
you.
person. Definitely appreciate you coming on, and have a great one, Kateri.
You too. Thank you.
All right, take it easy.
All right, bye-bye.
That's it, y'all. That's it. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you. Thank you for coming through and chilling and hanging with us, y'all. Make sure you follow Kateri on all social media platforms. Check out the new single, Lover of My Soul, with Mike Teasy. Y'all enjoy yourself. Have a great rest of the weekend ahead, y'all. Thank you for chilling with us tonight.